Have you ever noticed how your thoughts just keep going? Even when everything outside is calm and quiet, inside there's this endless current. Ideas crashing into memories, worries folding into what ifs, questions stacking on top of questions. You try to pause, to breathe, to simply exist in the moment. But the brain keeps spinning, replaying conversations from weeks ago, scripting futures that might never come, judging every tiny choice like it's life or death. You look at people who seem to glide through life, laughing without second-guessing, loving without hesitation, and you wonder, how do they do it? How do they feel something and just let it be, without turning it into a puzzle? For you, every emotion arrives with footnotes. Every interaction gets dissected. Every silence feels loaded. It's exhausting, but it's also familiar. You've lived like this for so long that stopping feels scarier than the noise itself. This didn't start out of nowhere. Most of us who think this deeply learned it early. Maybe as a kid you grew up in a home where moods shifted without warning. Voices carried tension you couldn't name yet. You sensed the storm coming before anyone said a word, the tight jaw, the clipped sentence, the sudden quiet. So you started paying attention, not because you wanted to be smart or philosophical, but because noticing felt like the only way to stay safe. You became the quiet watcher, the one who read rooms, predicted arguments, absorbed everyone's feelings so no one had to explode. That habit stuck. Psychologists talk about it as a survival wiring. Hypervigilance turned into a default setting. Your nervous system learned that control comes from understanding everything ahead of time. So now, as an adult, you still scan, you still predict, you still analyze hurt before it lands, so maybe it won't hurt as much. But the protection comes with a price. You end up living more in your head than in your body. Feelings get turned into theories. Joy gets questioned until it fades. Connection gets over-examined until it feels risky. And the world doesn't help. Everything moves so fast. Endless feeds, instant replies, quick opinions shouted into the void. People want simple answers, surface-level vibes, but you see layers. You feel the undercurrents. You notice the small cracks in someone's smile, the unspoken grief behind a joke. That kind of seeing makes you valuable to others. They come to you for insight, for clarity, but it leaves you carrying extra weight. Empathy isn't just a trait for you, it's a constant input. You absorb moods like a sponge, and sometimes you forget to wring yourself out. The tiredness isn't from doing too much, it's from perceiving too much. From holding space for everyone's unspoken things while your own heart quietly aches. You replay interactions, not because you're dramatic, but because your mind is trying to make sense of chaos, to find patterns that promise safety. Yet the more you chase certainty, the more elusive it becomes. Thoughts loop, possibilities multiply, peace stays just out of reach. But here's the quiet truth. Your depth isn't broken, it's just intense. That same mind that overthinks is the one that creates beauty, that feels music in its bones, that sees meaning where others see noise. The default mode network in your brain, the part that wanders, reflects, imagines, runs hotter than average. It's why you notice subtleties, why art hits you harder, why small kindnesses stay with you for days. The shift doesn't mean shutting it off. You can't, and you shouldn't want to. It means learning to live alongside it differently. Start small. Notice when a thought arrives. Label it gently. There's the replay again, and let it pass without chasing it down every rabbit hole. Bring attention back to your senses, the weight of your feet on the floor, the air moving in and out, the warmth of something in your hands. That's embodiment. Reminding the mind that the body is here, now. Write things out, not to solve them, but to release them. Move, dance, walk, stretch, so energy doesn't stay trapped in loops. And most importantly, practice real presence with people. Share a feeling without explaining it to death. Sit in silence with someone and let it be comfortable. Vulnerability isn't danger anymore. It's the doorway back to feeling connected. Over time, the mind softens, not because it stops thinking, but because it learns it doesn't have to solve everything to be okay. You realize peace isn't the end of questions, it's the courage to live with a few unanswered. Your awareness becomes a gentle companion instead of a relentless interrogator. You were never too much, you were just wired to feel the full spectrum in a world that often prefers grayscale. And that wiring, it's a gift, even on the heavy days. Because when you finally let yourself rest in the middle of the storm, not by silencing it, but by breathing through it, you discover something profound. Beneath all the noise, there's a steady, quiet knowing. You've been chasing it in thoughts all along, but it was never in the answers. It was always in the space between them. You're not alone in this, and you're not cursed. You're awake, and maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what the world needs more of. Have you ever felt like your mind is always one step ahead, analyzing, questioning, feeling everything a little too deeply? You're not broken. You're just wired to see more. Here at Easy Mind Psychology, we talk about exactly that. The quiet storms inside, the overthinking that never quite stops, the childhood patterns that still echo, and the gentle ways to soften it all without losing who you are. No quick fixes, no fake positivity, just honest, kind understanding, so you feel a little less alone in your depth. If these words feel like they were written for you, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell so you never miss a new reflection. Like this video if it touched something inside, and drop a single word in the comments, maybe seen, same, or deep, so we know you're here with us. You don't have to carry it all by yourself anymore. Let's walk this path together, slowly, gently, one quiet thought at a time. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.